Okay, family, give thanks and praise the Creator wherever you may conceive Him or her to be. For me, I was about to get a reset, get some sleep, but I decided to put some clips here on my boy BDEll. BDEll is the guy that speak about the planes crashing because of the energy that coming from the sun. Anyway, I give you a clip on my boy BDEll talking about the black hole in Europe, and it's supposed to happen. It's supposed to get a big one happening here eventually. Hang on, folks. So before I get a reset, and use some clips here on my boy BDEll speaking about what's supposed to happen with these big earthquakes. As we all know for sure that California is supposed to have an earthquake and sink, and so is New York and Florida. It's not a matter if, it's when. Anyway, folks, that's why people are moving. That's why people are moving from California and New York to Atlanta and middle states, because the middle states are supposed to be safe states so far. Hang on, folks. Seeing taking place in the eastern hemisphere. That's my boy BDEll. That's BDEll right here. On the western hemisphere. That's a part of the judgment process.
Has been closed in both Lisbon and Porto too. Well, some of the cities affected by this: Madrid, Barcelona, Valencia, and Seville in Spain, as well as Lisbon, Faro, and Porto in Portugal. Andorra and parts of France have also seen some effects. Well, let's bring in our science and technology editor, Tom Clark, for some more on this. Afternoon to you, Tom. Good to have you here, because there are some words here that I'm going to need you to explain to me. Anomalous oscillations have led.
What you're seeing taking place right now, you're seeing the synchronized infrastructure of the corporate world starting to basically collapse, because it's going to manipulate the energetic power grid, which knocks off, all these cars, traffic lights. It's going to paralyze airports. It's going to manipulate the rail systems, and it's going to also cause a rationing in the water supply system, right? So they try to say they're going to blame it on an atmospheric event in itself, when really they're trying to say it's a cyber attack, right? The World Economic Forum said it's inevitable that there's going to be a cyber attack that's going to be taking place all over the planet. They've been saying that since the last 4 years, since the time we had the draconian juice shutdown during that process, during the time of 2020. They've been telling us, and it's starting to speed up in vibration as far as like the timeline, right? So like I said, you don't get something like this, like a coordinated, orchestrated event. It don't happen like this. So this is how you know it was basically created. This was a man-made event. This wasn't something celestial, because anything that you see in the system that happens by way of increments, if it didn't shut down the grid all over the planet, that's how you know it wasn't real. What took place was orchestrated, right? Because you're having a civil war within the government. The Democrats and the Republicans. They showed you on The Economist magazine on how Donald Trump's face was blocking the great majority of Europe out. His shadow was over it, which is basically the embodiment of a power outage, right? So how you know that didn't come from the Republicans, right? Because remember, he's beefing with, the great majority of those in the Ukrainian area. When you're talking about the Ukrainian mafia, right? The deep state versus the republic, right? That's what you're seeing taking place right now.
It's a phenomenon known as induced atmospheric vibration.
Yes, it's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? And I think we should bear in mind at the moment that is information coming from Portugal's power grid operator. It hasn't yet been confirmed by the Spanish grid authorities. And I would say at this stage it is unlikely that one single event when one thing might have precipitated this grid collapse, but it's likely that more than one thing went wrong. Because a power grid failure of this scale, and we're still waiting to find out how many people have been affected. You were just listing some of Europe's largest cities there across Spain and Portugal. This is quite possibly the largest outage we've seen in Europe, maybe not in history, but certainly for a very long time. And things like that don't happen for no reason. And these grids are engineered to be as reliable and dependable as possible, because they are, and I think we take them for granted while they're working. We don't realise just how much of a kind of plate spinning act keeping a large grid system. This is a very large grid system that's being operated across the whole of the Iberian Peninsula. Some of it connected to, as you were saying, directly to Portugal, also interconnected to parts of France, and it also supplies all of Spain's island nations as well, around the mainland Spain. It's a very, very large grid. And this is about
Hang on, folks.
a grid operator.
He's talking a little bit too much for me. Hang on.
Into the data, we're not seeing anything obvious. So really, we are waiting for the grid operators to tell us more about what caused it.
Okay, got it. In terms of the efforts to restore the network, could the possibility of a cyber attack be, delaying efforts to...
That word, magic, I told you, the perception of art imitates reality. This happens by way of the threefold law. They're telling you what's going to be happening next. These new magic fault lines is going to be activated. They've been telling you since the April 8th solar eclipse, the October 14th solar eclipse, which is the Ring of Fire solar eclipse, and then you have a solar eclipse that took place in 2017 over in on the West Coast, right? Which created the ancient Alpha symbol, which is the sign of judgment, the sign of the Lamb. The sign of the Lamb is the sign of the non-ether getting back the planet by way of the cosmic energies, right? Everything that you see and taking place right now is, I guess you could say, is the embodiment of prophecy, because whether if it's orchestrated or not, the matriarch still has to be restored. Don't ever forget that, because in the inception of time, it was a matriarchy, so it has to end with a matriarchy, right? What goes around comes around by way of the law of reciprocity, to where energy expands and returns to itself because it operates on the seculum of a cycle, which is the epitome of balance, which is Maya. This is the reset, ladies and gentlemen. We're going through the reset, whether you believe it or not, because you can't negate all these things that's happening all at once. The Pope just passed away. Knowing he been dead. You got all these things about the tariffs going on. You got the rise of artificial intelligence, right? You got, all these people, different countries talking about the rumors of war. Then you got, the chamber systems that's at the bottom of the pyramids of Giza. They're talking about they found the Ark of the Covenant. All these things is not happening by coincidence. You got all these celestial phenomenons talking about the wink in the sky when you have the conjunction of Venus and Saturn. All these anomalies that's happening, we're only 4 months in, and all this stuff is taking place in real time. Because like I said, this system is running on its last leg.
I keep saying before, folks.
Restore the network, or are they making good progress on that front?
That is starting to happen slowly. We've seen some areas in Spain coming back, but in Portugal they seem to be more pessimistic about the amount of time that it will take to return to normality. But the Portuguese have ruled out a cyber attack, so we don't think that that's the cause anymore. But that's obviously where everyone's mind goes immediately. But it's caused complete disruption to everything. No internet, no phone signal. Everybody's been sent home.
Hang on,
We're all
folks.
sitting at home, and we
They're having fun, and
know that.
like I said, motherfuckers is out here having fun, and we not prepared for nothing.
I keep telling you guys, prepare yourself.
We have to get prepared.
My boy,
Satellite phones.
my boy saying something.
You know what I'm
Get
saying?
satellite phones.
Get some resources
Yeah,
that's gonna be
walkie-talkies.
self-affirming for your autonomous system when you're talking about your household.
He's saying the same thing. I keep telling you guys, stock up on your walkie-talkies. You want the nationwide walkie-talkies. I can go from New York to California free. Nationwide walkie-talkies. Stock up on your radios, your portable click radios, the A news. Yeah, like I said before, last night I made a video. These solar power generators for your phone. You can go to Amazon and get your solar power generators so you can boil water, etc. You see the same thing. We're doing shit. We're not preparing ourselves. When the shit happens, don't call me. Don't shoot. You better call first. You may get a shoot. All right, folks, hang on. Hang on, folks. Here we go again. I keep telling you guys, don't be scared. Be prepared. Don't be scared. Be prepared.
What's going to be taking place on the planet, we not even ready. Right? It's time to stop playing. It's time to create this cosmic convergence and have this union amongst the chosen ones. Because we're going to need each other when the grid shuts down. We're going to need each other when we have an influx of these earthquakes and it starts to break up land masses. Right? It's time to start, unifying. Get each other's numbers. Have certain places and safe zones and resources to where we're able to,
Survive.
galvanize our resources and come together in case something like this is going to happen. I wouldn't even say in case. We know it's coming, but
I said before,
are we
and not if,
prepared
it's
for
when.
it? No. Right? We gotta get prepared.
Anyway, folks, hang on, folks, hang on, hang on.
Nation. You gotta get your ass
To
back
see,
in the
to see
nation.
the whole thing, go ahead up. To watch the whole thing, go ahead.
The sun is fading, so all throughout
Remember
today, solar has been
My
provided.
boy BDEll,
Some of the power
1014.
that was still available in
Watch the
Spain,
whole thing
and
right there,
that's
folks.
going
That's the
to
whole
be
thing right
going
there.
dark soon, so the grid operators are.
Like I said before, my boy BDEll, 1014, watch the whole video right there. He's been saying it for years. Don't be scared. Be prepared yourself. Get your food stuff in order. Get your weapons in order. Get your water in order. Stock up on your water. Your canned stuff. Your tuna. Your peanut butter. Got that last long time. It's protein. Anyway, folks, you got a message. I've been saying it for years. Stock up on your shit. Don't procrastinate. It's going to get there. It's no matter if, it's when. Until then, subscribe, share, like the video. Don't believe what I'm saying. Don't believe nothing I'm saying. Do your own research and see for yourself that shit is going to happen. Later, folks. Peace out. Lots of love.